Started sending snaps to all my friends, and sure enough, they wrote back right away. They were like congratulating me. None of them answered my calls when I called them, but they all answered my snaps.
This individual's been trying on the show for quite a while. We finally got it going. We finally got it scheduled. He goes by the Snapping Realtor as I look at his Instagram right now, and he's out of Los Angeles, California with Compass. Andrew, welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. It's been a couple months in the making.
I know, right? I know. What do they say sometimes? Like you say the best for last, or, you know,
I don't know if I'm the best, but
I got to give it to you. But awesome, man. Really appreciate your time. Appreciate you being a guest. As it is our intention for our viewers and listeners to take something from our episodes that they can apply to their real estate business. We do know that you do have a course, it looks like, also, which we'll probably touch on. So give us a little context. Like, why'd you get in real estate? How long you been in the business for?
I came out to LA. I did the whole acting thing. Worked at a restaurant like many actors do out here in LA.
Nice.
And my dad died actually it's gonna be 8 years ago next week.
Wow, sorry.
It happened like after the holidays really fast. And he was my best friend, and it kind of just like flipped my world upside down. So I took the next year and I kind of like figured out like what I got to get out of this. I'm having anxiety attacks at auditions. Like I just couldn't do it anymore. And, my dad actually was an architect and did concrete construction.
Okay.
I would never do anything like that. And sure enough, now I'm a real estate agent. So, then I just was like writing down my passions, with the help of a therapist. And
Nice.
I kind of, came about real estate, and I got my license, and then I joined a big time brokerage to be named. I won't name the name, but they had like a 12-week training program, and they wanted us on the first day to go through our phone and call everybody at 9 a.m. to tell them we just got into real estate.
Wow.
I like froze, and I'm like, none of my friends are going to answer. So I actually went outside and I went on Snapchat. And that's where the Snapping Realtor came from, because I started sending snaps to all my friends. And sure enough, they wrote back right away. They were like congratulating me. None of them answered my calls when I called them, but they all answered my snaps. And then I started going out on open houses, like up in the Hollywood Hills. And like I was at a house that Taylor Swift lived in for a summer, like that was on the market. And I was just putting them on my Snapchat. And that's kind of how I started like making connections with people. And then a couple of years later, Instagram stories got big. And then what I love so much about Instagram in general, but you can get in front of people that don't know you already.
Yes.
And it was really hard to do that. Like it's hard to do that on Facebook unless you're doing ads. It's impossible to do on Snapchat for the most part. So Instagram stories got big, and I kind of just throughout what my lead generation would be to use Instagram.
Wow.
And now going into year 5, all my business pretty much comes from referrals, Sphere, and Instagram.
Wow.
We're hearing this a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
No, that's good.
Man, and sorry about your loss. Just thinking about the silver lining there, it's just amazing how that puts you on to a different trajectory in life. And kudos to you for all your success and looking at, hey, Snapchat, I'm gonna reverse engineer this. Like I'm not gonna reach out to my friends and tell them what I'm doing. Like, good for you, man. That's awesome. So
that's what. Before we go, I love telling this story about like not having to reach out. So many times, like, you go to these events and like your coaches tell you when you're in this training, when you first get your license, they like tell you, oh, you need to, make sure you're talking about real estate with everybody. I now, like obviously before COVID, went to like friends' engagement parties or birthday parties, and everybody comes to me to talk about real estate, because they're seeing it every day on Instagram. Like I don't have to go, like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, do I still have to talk about real estate today? But it's a good problem to have,
Yeah.
So I do not take that for granted.
Wow. That's hey, for our viewers and listeners, definitely take notes on that, because that's awesome. And it's definitely a way to be able to do something for like what, Jared, like next to no cost. You know?
Cost. You're right.
Yeah.
That story is so relatable to me, because when I was working for a bigger brokerage, when we onboarded, we were having like basically like a kickoff for the new year. And I was like, hey, everybody, like I need to load up Mojo Dialer and I need your sphere of influence list. And it was like pulling teeth at a dentist because everybody was like, no, man, like I'm not giving you my friends and family to load up the dialer, so I have to call them. No way.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because I joined a big team then a couple of years, like, because I got into real estate. I was by myself. Then I panicked and I joined a team. Yeah. And on that team, like they all just sat in the office every day and just made calls and called expired, called all these people. And I was like sitting there and I was like, this cannot be my life. Like, I do not want to be a real estate agent if this is my life. So I got to do something different. And so I would go out and I'd be like, I'm going out to Orange Theory, and I'd wear like, my real estate shirt, and I'd start talking to people while I was like after working out about real estate. Wow. And then I'd go home, shower, and come back in the office. They're like, where were you? I was like, I was lead generating at Orange Theory.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And it's a different way and a great way just to live your life and not need to do something so, I don't know, not natural. I mean,
it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. Geez. Yeah. So talking about your real estate business and talking more about the success that you've had now going through that process, like what does your buy side, sell side transaction volume look like from the past 12 months? How much success have you had?
Yeah. So I mostly help buyers because most of my audience out here in Los Angeles, even at 40, is usually a first-time home buyer because our prices are so crazy. Yeah. And I think I like that the best because that's where like they lean on you the most, and you're a therapist. You're really showing your knowledge of the market, forms, contracts. But now I'm at a point in my career because I a lot of the people that bought 4 or 5 years ago, it's time to sell. So I'm actually this week getting ready to launch 3 listings.
Nice.
And they're all from people that bought from me like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And the part is I'm connecting with them and staying up to date with them through Instagram. So most of them are buyers, but it looks like this is going to be my first year where it's going to be on the listing side. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. Hey, kudos to you. I think Dan had some.
Yeah, I mean, that's the evolution. I mean, a lot of people say list to last, and they want to go like from 0 to 120 miles an hour and just become a listing agent. It doesn't really work like that. I mean, you can, but your database suffers, right? Because you need to plant all those carrots, which are buyers, so that you have your longevity.
Yeah.
When the time is right to flip that switch on and become more of a listing agent. So.
And and it's so cool to see how it happens. It's like all my friends that bought condos are now all having babies. So they're all like texting me every day. Somebody's like saying like, okay, like this summer we gotta put the condo and we need to look for a house. Like,
yes,
baby stuff is taking over. I never thought I was going to be that parent. So it's just kind of cool. I'm like, okay, well, I'll set you up on a search now so you can start seeing what's out there. And like that, to see how it kind of escalates from just people like that are first-time home buyers that are just buying a home now into selling a home, buying another home, maybe starting a real estate portfolio, referring you the business.
Yes. That's huge. And it's also nice too, because you get to stay top of mind without needing to make that phone call, like do those door knockings, send out those mailers. You don't need a magnet on their refrigerator, which potentially you can still do, but just be you, have fun, do your thing. And then it's great because on Instagram too, like for viewers and listeners, as you probably already know, like out there who's listening, it's like you just click on your icon there and find out who's watching your stuff. Like, oh my God, like those are all the people I've already worked with. Like, it's great. Like this is working. So
that's why I love Instagram stories so much, because when you post, you don't know who sees it. You only know who sees it if they like it or comment, but I don't know anybody can see it. With a story, I see who's watching my stories, and usually it's the same people.
Yeah.
So those are people like that I haven't seen maybe I've lived out in LA for 16 years. There are a lot of them from my partying days. I don't see them, but now like we've all grown up and they are watching what I do every day.
Wow.
So now I know I need to reach out to them.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great. And that's good information too for the viewers and listeners who will take in consideration, because you can track that analytics, which is great. Analytics are nice. And it's nice to know that when you're doing something, you at least see like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, like these people are watching me. Like, oh, these are some of my past clients. I love that. And for the next question, you pretty much already answered it. Buy side, sell side makes up your business. Majority, it seems like buy side. Now it's coming around more on the sell side, which is awesome. And I mean, we pretty much already know this one too about you, but is there anything you want to add to like what separates you from the other realtors out there? I mean, I would probably think your Instagram. I see.
You're in like one of the most competitive markets too. So it's
It's funny because like when I first come on real estate license, I'm like, everybody in this town has their real estate license. But what I've learned is that like a lot of agents in general, they're a very different breed. We are a different breed of people. They're not doing branding right. They're not like letting people know who they are.
Yeah.
And that my goal is to do that on Instagram so that people want to work with me, because people want to work with people that they trust, that they find authentic, that they can build a relationship with. Like all of my clients and my referrals that come from my sphere, like they want to be my friend. They want me to come over for a glass of wine to sit in their new remodeled kitchen. Like they're asking me like, what flooring do you think we should get? Like they want my opinion on everything. And I think what has set me apart is I've always tried to stay ahead when it comes to social media. And like I remember going to homes on Snapchat, and these agents would make fun of me. Like when I would go to the Brokers Open, like these agents that like the luxury agents here in LA, they'd be like laughing. They're like, oh, here comes the snapping realtor. Like, are you posting on Snapchat again? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, is there a good bathroom that I can go get a picture of a bathtub for Tub Tuesday? And they're like, yeah. And now those agents, I'm not lying, they are coming to me and they're asking me to run their social, and I don't do that. But they're asking me for help because they realize that Instagram and social media is here to stay, and like you have to get on board with it. So that's where I think I'm a little different in that I also see my business as more like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not so much like I hate when I go on pages and I just see just sold, just listed. I have no idea what the agent looks like. I have no idea what they sound like. I don't care about the outside of houses, and most people don't. So I like to show like what my interests are, like who I am. And that's what I think sets me apart. And now agents are coming around, and it's cool to see. Like I love helping agents and like seeing that they are being inspired by some of the stuff that I do, and now they're doing it, and I love seeing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You were an early adapter, and you stuck with it. And I think that's the biggest, what we see with a lot of real estate agents. You get stuck in transactional world and the back and forth and the monotony. And you just basically were like, hey, I'm going to run with this, and I'm going to transition from, snapping to IG, and I'm going to be consistent with it. And, it's not it's like the tortoise and the hare analogy, right? Like if you're posting content every day and it's like 8 years later and you got 20,000 plus followers, and then the realtor who has, a lot of production, but they just have like 200 followers. Yeah. There's the difference.
Yeah. And that is, that's very true when you just said that. And I showed up every day, like, because I was so scared of cold calling and door knocking. Like if I didn't have a purpose, I just did not want to do it. But I can tell you that showing up every day, eventually it does come back to you. And that's, I think, very tough for agents because they don't know what to post. They don't know when to post it and all of that stuff. And I'm like, you just got to start doing it.
Yes. That good book, The Compound Effect, that talks about that and that momentum. And then it's 21.6 thousand followers. It's right there. You have the swipe up feature. I mean, come on. So
you have a digital farm in a digital city now that most people just completely like glaze over.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, you are now having the ones that made fun of you come back to you. Now, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later. You have a course that's supporting those individuals. Talk about credibility. And if someone wants to list with you, hey, I got 21,000 plus people part of my network that could get eyeballs on your home. Win. That's awesome. So I have one more question before we go to the lightning rounds. The last one is, and it's not really a disruptor for you. I feel like you kind of just like adapted to this, but, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Instagram is probably the one piece of tech that you adapted to. For some, it's disrupted their business, but for you, you adapted to really have success in your business in multiple different ways. Would that be pretty much the one?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Yep.
Okay. I figured.
You gotta ask.
It's on the agenda. We don't be too scripted, here, but you gotta last. But I'm gonna go ahead and change the camera angle. Dan, go ahead and take away the lightning round as we'll go into more of the technology you're using.
Yeah, man. The lightning round's about what's on the tool belt. What's in your arsenal. What are you deploying, and how that can help other agents, catch up with the times, or put something in action that might turn into a few deals this year. So
let's do it.
a lot of these questions you've already answered, so I will glaze over some, but I will just keep them in alignment so you can kind of get it. So let's just get down to it. Your number one lead source right now.
My sphere.
Perfect. Number two, I already know. Do you cold call?
No.
Number three, do you do any direct mail currently?
Not currently. No direct mail.
Circle prospect with listings or any of that?
No, it's all done through Instagram.
I love it. Outside of Instagram and in social channels, website, SEO, driving traffic to a website, is that a part of your strategy at all?
No, everything's on Instagram. My Instagram profile is like my portfolio on my website, my business card. It's all there in one.
Okay. No, makes sense. Are you running any paid campaigns on Instagram or Facebook?
I only do it right now with a listing, or if I am, I also do some influencer stuff. So if I have a product that I have to do it for that, then I do it.
Perfect. And then when it comes to social media, before we get into any of the other tools, is there any tools that you're using to enhance your Instagram performance? That could be tracking and analytics. That could be hashtags.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a great question. It's going to be hashtags are crucial for getting in front of people. It's 30 hashtags. And I put 30 hashtags in every post that are specific to the post. And also I take 15 minutes every day and I actively engage with other people. So it's not all about me. It's about giving the love out to other agents, other businesses, restaurants, local people, friends, and I'll like and comment on their stuff. And what happens is then it directs them to my profile, and hopefully they like what they see and they follow me. But I do that almost every day for 15 minutes. So it's just
time block that, people. Time block that.
Time block.
Yeah, I just began that when I switched over to one of my profiles. So it's been good, man. Local businesses love it too because they get more love.
Yep.
So
yep.
Do you currently use a CRM?
I use the Compass CRM.
Oh, Contactually, or is it?
Yeah, it's powered by Contactually, but it's Compass now. Yeah, cool. I used to use Contactually.
Yeah, nice. And then in terms of time organization, like Google Calendar, like any project-based software, anything that's,
I need to, but I don't. And let me tell you, you don't want to be here.
No, check out Monday.com, Asana.
Oh, I have Asana. I have it, but I haven't used it.
There you go.
That's going to be on the list. I just downloaded the app and everything.
Love it.
Perfect. And then in terms of content, like, do you build like an annual social media calendar? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? How do you kind of break down that?
Build out my content about a month in advance for a post, and I really go by a content calendar. And for me, I like print up a calendar. I do it the old school way, and I print up a calendar. So I'll be doing it probably next week for the month of February. And I start and I sit down and I'm like, okay, this is what I need to do on this day. And I always go first through like the national days. So it's National Pasta Day or National Cookie Day. Like I know like, oh, that's going to be a great day for National Cookie Day. I could maybe post my favorite cookie spots in LA. So I can share it on my story and then tag those five baking shops, and then they can share it on their story. So now so for me, I think of my content, I plan it out about a month in advance, but it's not like I don't have to do it. Like if something comes up and I'm like, oh, I'm inspired to post this kind of a picture right now, or this post, I can do that. Like,
yeah, people want to see a little insight to your personal life, right? They want to see the real estate business. And I think, I think agents, if you're listening or viewing or whatever, creating a calendar about your transactions and time blocking is great, but this is like 2021 now. So like sit down and make a content calendar and at least do it 3 days a week. I mean, at a minimum.
Yep. And you can throw your business in because that's what stories are for. It's the off the cuff. It's the behind the scenes. Like people love $1 Million Listing, HGTV, Selling Sunset, all that stuff. They love watching those shows. They are very intrigued by what we as agents do on a normal basis, even though it changes every day. So start showing that, like, oh, I'm writing an offer. I'm running around to meet a stager. People want to follow on our journeys. And the best way that you can do that is to share it through Instagram stories.
this is an off the cuff question, but I'm just going to ask it.
Yeah.
Like, have you done any deals with any of these people that have been on TV?
I have filmed a $1 Million Listing a couple times.
Nice.
Very
Nice.
good experience.
Yeah.
Cool.
I never did a deal, but we filmed a couple episodes together. Me and Madison, and then Josh and Nat Altman. I did a something in Venice.
Those guys are great, man.
Yeah,
I want to get them on the show.
they're so fun.
Yeah. No.
Coming.
Yeah, we reached out to Aaron Kerman too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's a good dude. So we want to get him on as well, and we're
he's
slowly.
great. His style is just the kind of style I like. He doesn't dress up. Like I'm very much black shirt, chinos kind of guy. Like I hate dressing up. I hate having my shirt in. I like to wear sneakers. So I love just like the way that he kind of like his vibe is what I'm kind of going for, but on a lower scale.
Yeah.
I've kind of reflected that same style as my own real estate business. Has been like if you're gonna hate on me because I'm not in a suit and tie, like I don't care.
Yeah,
like I'm here to make my clients happy.
Work well together.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. No, so any new technology? This is my last question. Really is there anything that you've been kind of like looking at, might want to try for 2021? It could be video, it could be equipment, anything technology driven.
For me, it's honestly like the new iPhone. I love. I filmed my online course using the new iPhone. I film all my pictures I take through my the new iPhone. So I think you don't have to buy a camera for this stuff. An iPhone works. But for me, it's just Instagram. Even like the last 6 months, it's constantly bringing out new tools for us to use, like Reels, Instagram guides just came out. So for me, it's just playing around with Instagram because it's always changing and using the tools that Instagram keeps giving us for free to use for my business and my brand.
I love
cool.
that.
Yeah. That is the end of the lightning round, which I might mix up and call the mixer round now because we like to mix it up. So awesome.
I love that. And I have to highlight the fact that how you take, for the listeners and viewers out there, you take the national holidays and you don't just do, national holiday and like post a cookie. You like actually take the time to go to like the bakery shops in your local market. So then you can tag them on the stories and on the post. So they potentially could like share that on their stories. So their network gets to see who you are.
Organic reach,
also,
baby.
Yeah, it's organic, right? So for the viewers and listeners, that's a great organic play to be able to do something and to be able to get additional individuals as part of your network, but then also be able to, who knows who will see that, or who knows who will or even a company, a small business owner, especially with these times, would appreciate that. So kudos to you for doing that and kind of taking a different approach. And that's where I think individuals are having the most success with technology moving forward in 2021 is taking a platform, using the tools, like you said, that are free already on there, and then reverse engineering the approach. So it doesn't need to be so black and white. You can do something different with it, which is super cool. So I got 3 more questions, and then we'll open up the floor to the viewers and listeners to hear anything that you want to tell them. So last couple questions. So do you consider yourself an expert at all in real estate, like either in an area or a client type? I mean, we know you're an expert on Instagram. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah, good question. For real estate, I'm an expert on kind of guiding my clients through the process and making sure that I'm listening and they feel that they're heard. For me, it's more like that's what I care about the most, is that I'm making this the least amount of stress that it could be, because it is the most stressful transaction of their life. So I want to be like 2 steps ahead at all times.
You're an expert in client experience.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's what I am.
And listening. Love it.
No,
Yes.
Awesome.
So farming, do you do any buyer farm, seller farm at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Dave said earlier, it's like a digital farm for me.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is so different. Like I wish that I could just have like a farm and like that's my neighborhood. When I see agents that have that, I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But all of my sphere, they're all living in different parts of LA, condos, houses. So for me, I go where they need me, and I like that. So I'm constantly all over, and I discover new parts of LA every day because of that.
Interesting. That's really cool. Maybe an interesting hack. I'll throw out a bone to you. Maybe if there's a possibility for you to be able to feature, like, say, a restaurant or something within a farm, like you potentially a seller farm you want to get into, how could you be able to get every single person that's in a 500 radius, like in a community, to get their Instagram handles? Like, how do you make that happen? How do you get every single one of their Instagram handles and like send out a mailer and tie in a restaurant? And that way you can be able to like digitally farm on Instagram, knowing all their handles. I don't know. That's just a random.
A giveaway would be a giveaway could be a great way to do that. Like give away a $500 gift card, but to get, or a $100 gift card, and to get that, you have to follow me. Boom.
Yeah. No, it's
Yep.
I was gonna say too, if you're an agent out there and you kind of want to know who's following what, just go to a local restaurant and look at the followers and scroll through the followers. Man, you can send voice messages or video messages all day long to these people.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's so true. That's actually a really I like that. So
I've been learning some good stuff here.
Yeah, it's a good note. Good notes and playbacks for today's episode. So the last thing is secret weapon. So do you have a secret weapon? If I was going to list my home with you, like what would you do to make me feel confident that you're gonna sell the home top dollar, days on market, short time, over asking? Is there anything that you have as a secret weapon that really like gives like me as a seller confidence in working with you?
I think it would be my relationships just in general with agents in this town because of my Instagram. I've formed some great relationships with agents, and like they want to do a deal with me a lot of times because of my Instagram presence, and to have that kind of in my toolkit has helped me get my clients offers.
Wow. That is cool.
It's a huge marketing tool. I just want to chime in here, everybody. Like there's this like two buckets you can be in as a broker or a realtor, which is it's like, I don't want to be involved with other agents and I kind of do my own thing, or you embrace other agents and grow more relationships and collaborate on social media. And that actually gets you more business.
Yes. Yep. Abundance mindset, right? They say your network is a part of your net worth. And I've met with realtors over the years where they're just like, oh my God, I don't want these agents following me and I don't want them to be able to see my network and all that. That's not abundance. Like you're too worried about something that's negligible in the bigger picture of your success. Like what do
we've had clients literally tell us to stop posting their like listings and their video on LinkedIn because they didn't want other real estate agents to see what they were doing. And I'm like, how are they going to see your property that is coming soon?
Yeah.
So,
And that's actually technically for the viewers and listeners, that's like your raging fans, like what you've already done, Andrew, like the realtors, your raging fans, it's your foundation. So last question I have is basically none. We're going to open the floor up to you. It's up to you to say whatever you want to say for our viewers and listeners. What would you like them to take away from today's episode?
Honestly, I would just say like start posting, start going on Instagram and start building your audience and your following, and stop thinking about how many followers you get and how many likes you're getting. Think about what the value and the content that you're providing, and show up and post and story every day, because I can tell you that I started with 0 followers and I got to 20,000. It took a couple years, and it's every day showing up.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be on this and to meet you guys. I've been watching you guys the past couple months, and it's been awesome. So
awesome. Well,
I do have a boot camp, an online course. It's Instagram for real estate agents. I'm actually hopping off this to do my boot camp while my agents are waiting for me to talk about today's lesson. But you can do my link in bio, and all the information's there. But I'm just so excited to watch you guys grow and continued success.
Hey,
the sport.
Likewise, we'll be checking you out. Dan, thanks so much for co-hosting today. Best of luck in your next meeting, Andrew. And thanks to all our viewers and listeners, as it is our intention for you to take something from our episodes, apply to your business, have more massive success. And we will see you on the next one. And made it to the end. Well, thank you so much for watching Real Estate vs. Technology. We hope you found value, especially something you can apply to your real estate business. If you could do us a favor, we would appreciate it. A thumbs up. If you subscribe, hit the notification bell, you'll be notified for new episodes coming out, and comment below. What the heck did you learn? If you want to join our Facebook group page, there's a link right here. And if you want to be featured on Real Estate vs. Technology, send us a DM on our Instagram page. We'll see if we get you on the show. So, take care, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.